I mean, obviously things like Canvas, they're going to be aware of. SRT, they're going to be aware of. Probably some of them are going to be familiar with gen ed planning. On the other side, the more administrative side, they may be familiar with accounts.psu.edu, the central person registry, which is how we manage identities at the university, was built in my shop. For the students in IST, and I know a lot of them work at the service desk, they'll be familiar with things like the DIMC, which is the Digital Identity Management Console. And then there's a ton of things that I guarantee impact the students, but they probably aren't aware of. And if they're not aware of them, then we're probably doing it right. I think some of the most fun things that I get to do in my job is when we do design meetings and you get a bunch of really smart people around a whiteboard and you just bounce ideas off each other and draw pictures on the whiteboard until you kind of come up with a consensus solution for a hard problem, and then you go build it. So the cool thing about software engineering is you get to take kind of a thought bubble and turn it into something real. One of the things that we've learned is that building big monolithic solutions, so building a solution that has tens of hundreds of thousands of lines of code that solves a problem, is the wrong way to do it. You break it out into these building blocks, and these building blocks are then plugged together through APIs. So the network becomes the computer. And that way, when you need to build something new, you can go just grab a few of these building blocks and use them in a slightly different way, and you're off. When we used to build things monolithically, we would have had to start from scratch and build it like we were building the whole mountain all over again. Since this started back in March, my team has built all of the infrastructure and software to support the COVID testing. So we had a lab on campus that was going to be able to facilitate doing the pool testing, so the surveillance testing that the students will be familiar with. But they had no way to connect all those dots and trace the test to the student and get it back into contact tracing and make sure that all the pieces kind of seamlessly flowed back and forth, taking all the vendor data, the test results that coming in from the vendors, and pulling it all together. We probably accomplished what I would expect to be an 18-month project in about 7 weeks. So, and it wasn't, we didn't do that because we're just super exceptional. We did that because over the past 7 or 8 years, we've been building up these pieces that we can then pull together very rapidly to build into an actual system. So it's all cloud-based. It's all sitting out in AWS. And we were effectively able to build out the infrastructure that we needed to support all this in about 4 hours. Like I said, look at where industry's going, pay attention to those types of things, combine that and see where it meshes with your formal studies. But also remember that industry's still moving at a fast clip. And right now, education is going to evolve slower than industry can change. As you kind of move into industry and move across industries, you're going to realize that you also have to have a good cognizance of the different business aspects of the things that you're building software to support. So don't just stay focused on the technology side. Make sure you understand that having kind of a broad spectrum of interests is going to be of value to you.